See any way on earth you can score that fight, that round to Edmund Gerber. That 7th round was a big round for Harris.
It was an excellent round for him. He was pushing him back, and you know, if it all lies on this last round, because we're on Germany, or maybe Gerber's 3 rounds up, but if we are looking at he's going to last on this last round, because they're going to tend to get, look, you can see the franticness in his corner now. He's going to go out and try and have it, and if he does go out and have it, I think he's going to get found out, because he's going to get caught with counters.
Well, time will tell on our card. You've given him rounds 2 and 3, Spencer, and apart from that, difficult to create too much of an argument for Gerber. The first round was close, but the further this fight has gone, the more his limitations seem to have been exposed. We'll know what the script is. And Edmund Gerber undefeated. This was supposed to be another stepping stone and a good learning fight for him against a seasoned American pro. But it's not really quite worked out, and we're now in the last round.
You see what Harris needs to do is stamp his authority here. I mean, give it no. Oh, look at that. Go cook with a good shot, but that's just one shot. Gerber has a problem in using his hands, you know, and when people do that little trick, like they bobble from up and down, and throw a shot, it's usually out of desperation, because there's nothing really clever about that, to tell you on this truth. I don't know why a lot of Eastern European fighters do it.
Nice fast jab again from Harris, finding its way through the guard.
Look, Harris should be doubling up that jab to head and body, and then throwing in that right hand, just to disguise the right hand. When you're throwing a big jab, then coming out with a big right hand up to follow, guys, you can be worked out. Good uppercut.
And a good right-hand counter from Gerber.
Yeah, now
nice bit of action at last.
You're right, exactly. Gerber should be pushing forward now.
Well, I used the phrase boxing by numbers earlier on, and that sort of underlines it. There's a lack of spontaneity about Gerber's work.
Yeah, oh man, that you hit the nail on the head. None whatsoever. And you're saying boxing by numbers. If that's the case, then he needs a calculator, because he's not reading these numbers too good.
Not too far to go now. And it might be that Gerber needs a big last round, even if we're looking at a little bit of one-eyed scoring.
Look, he's lost this fight. And the German crowd know it as well. Look at that, good left hook there. He's being schooled here.
Inside the last minutes of this opening fight for you on a momentous night of boxing on Box Nation. Edmund Gerber of Germany with his back to you, an undefeated Kazakhstan-born professional against 36-year-old Maurice Harris from East Orange in New Jersey.
Look at that. I think Gerber's got something against the air there, because he just punched it. You see, he's trying to fight with desperation. He should have started this earlier. He should have been throwing shots like this earlier.
Is it all going to be a little bit?
What did you just say? The referee saying head up. The guy just evaded a punch, rolled underneath the left hook.
Well, Gerber still keeps on just plodding forward, looking for big telling shots, and he lands a right hand well after the bell and smiles as he touches gloves with Harris. Now, you've watched that, we've watched that, we know what we think, you probably know what you think. Now it's going to be judgment time. Sporting round of applause. Whatever the result, this is not a world beater in the making.
Well, beater, this guy can't even beat an egg.
May, through effort, have taken that last round. I don't think so, though. I think this fella's won it, and if he doesn't get the verdict, he's been robbed.
You know what, John, that's why I like you. You're always sitting on the fence.
Well, you know, you've got to say it as it is, Spencer, haven't you? No, this is somebody here. We're looking at Edmund Gerber, who is talking about European titles, about possible world titles. He's one of the chosen ones in the Sauerland stream of emerging young professionals. and he should have looked good tonight, and he didn't.
No, he didn't look good. He looked terrible, to tell you the honest truth. He's one-dimensional, he's one pace, and you know, I just think out there, if you're of a certain size, you think, oh, I'm just going to be a heavyweight boxer.
Well, we fear what could happen here. In a moment, we'll get confirmation of the scores. My German's not very good, so let's have a listen.
Willkommen zu den Punktzetteln, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to the scorecards. Rainer Schwarz aus Steyr wertete den Kampf 79 zu 73, 79-73.
79-73.
Peppi Temmel wertete den Kampf 79 zu 73, 79-73. Und Jörg Milke wertete den Kampf 78 zu 74, 78-74 for the winner from Germany,
That's appalling.
Gerber.
Those scores, 79-73. What is that about? That is a disgrace.
Yeah, total disgrace, but you know what? It's kind of good anyway, because let these guys climb up the ladder even more, because you know what? The higher the monkey climbs, the more it's exposed. And he got exposed as thin, but he's going to find someone who's going to fire back at him. He's going to get beat bad.
Well, the American corner, they make their way out of the ring. A little bit mystified. There were one or two wry smiles there from guys who've been around the boxing game for an awful long time, as much as to say, our guy did it, but what do you expect? The winner on points from Germany, Edmund Gerber.
And the 20th win of an unbeaten career for Herr Gerber as well. 79-73 twice, 78-74 once. It's obvious how Spencer and John feel about it. Do you share those sentiments?
I don't share the outrage and the anger, because you know, we do an awful lot of shows from Germany and we expect it. I thought Gerber would get it by a round or two. I thought there'd be a decency, you know, in the proceedings. There wasn't. There was an indecency in the proceedings. I thought Harris nicked the fight. I thought Gerber would get it. That's the way the business works. But one thing needs to be pointed out, and John and Spencer sort of mentioned it a little bit when they mentioned how the Americans leaving the ring just shrugged their shoulders, is that these guys, these American journeymen, half-decent heavyweights, they go to Germany not because they like sauerkraut, Jim. They go to Germany because they get paid a fortune and they get treated like kings in Germany. Anthony's boxed in Germany. He'll attest to that. They get treated like kings. They have their own cars, but they get money. He could have fought 8 rounds last night in Las Vegas at the Planet Hollywood, I think it was, last night. He would have walked out the ring with about $2,000. He's probably got 5 or 6 or 7 times that. He doesn't mind he's been stitched up.
Okay, so is that right? You, as a fighter, I mean, a slightly different level. This guy's 36. He's been around 20 years. He's retired a couple of times. He just wants a decent payday, probably. But that mindset, do you see that among other fighters? I'll go there. I'll get well looked after. I'll get my euros. I'll lose, but I'll come back a wealthier guy.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, they treat you really well over there. I boxed over there, and they really do treat... I boxed there as an amateur and a professional, and they really do look after the boxers. And like you say, the sponsors get behind it big, and you just have to see the shows that they put on, the smoke screens, the lasers and stuff like that. It's a great place to box.
But it is one of those, you look at it, I mean, you've got to knock the guy out to get a draw. It's one of the, you look at it. You know.
Draw, leave off.
Yeah, I felt then about the fight, I felt like Gerber had... I had sparred earlier, you know, the sparred before, and I felt it was a bit like a sparring session, and Harris... He come out and he looked sharp on the counter early on Gerber, but he just sort of plodded into it and he treated it as a bit of a sparring. Harris grown in confidence and he started to enjoy himself in there.
You know what's interesting, Jim? Sorry, Jim. You know, they concentrate on the German corner, obviously, all the time. There was no urgency there. As Spencer and John and us, we had, you know, Spencer and John, who were watching it a lot closer than we were, had him putting away. The corner was still just talking to him. Yeah. Just talking to him, just talking to him. No urgency.
But just a final line on him. I mean, Herr Gerber is not a guy that's going to revolutionise this division, this heavyweight division, is he?
No, he's not. And he's one of the many Sauerland fighters that are going to find themselves between now and the end of the year and the signing of all the Olympic really hard fights. He's going to learn to fight one night, and we're going to find out if he can fight. And I have a feeling we'll all find out, well, he finds out that he can't really fight when the going gets tough. It's almost like a riddle. OK, well, next up we have more heavyweight action for you coming up over there for the vacant European heavyweight title. 2 fighters with 28 knockouts between them. So do not leave Box Nation, because it might not last too long. And this is all part of our build-up, our extensive build-up towards the big one in Las Vegas. Build-up towards the big one in Las Vegas.